What if I told you that out of, like, the roughly 1 million words in the English language, you really only need to master 8 core concepts to figure out how all of them work?
Yeah, I mean, it sounds totally impossible, but when you strip language down to its studs, the underlying architecture is actually surprisingly simple.
Right. So today we're doing a custom deep dive into a grammar guide that makes exactly that bold claim. That mastering just 8 simple parts of speech makes English 50% easier.
Okay, let's unpack this, because the source material uses this fascinating analogy. It basically argues we shouldn't view the dictionary as just some random bucket of letters.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
more like a massive school. You have teachers, students, the
Right.
principal.
And every single word is essentially waiting to be hired for a very specific job to keep that building running smoothly.
I love that framing because it
Mhm.
really shifts us away from, like, rote memorization.
Yeah, words aren't just existing in a vacuum, they are employed. And if we're staffing this school, the foundational hires are obviously the nouns and verbs, right? Like the names of people, places, or things, John or Pakistan. And the verbs are the actions, like run or sleep.
Exactly.
Hmm.
We all know they represent the subjects and the actions, but what's fascinating here is how the text frames pronouns.
Yeah, it doesn't just call them stand-ins, it describes them as a literal defense mechanism.
Right. Which is such a wild way to think about it.
Wait, a defense mechanism defending against what exactly?
Cognitive fatigue. The guide notes that pronouns literally protect us from sounding robotic.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, imagine if our language hadn't evolved to include them. You'd be stuck saying, John went to John's car because John forgot John's bag.
Yeah, that is exhausting to even process.
Right, so the pronoun steps in as this sort of cognitive shock absorber, swallowing that repetition so the actual idea can just flow.
Okay, that actually makes perfect sense. Now, the source uses that school analogy for the vocabulary pool, but when it describes the actual sentence those workers build, it calls the verb the engine.
Yes, the motor driving the idea forward.
So if the verb is our engine, what does this all mean for adjectives and adverbs? Are they just like the custom paint job and the steering wheel for that engine?
That's a brilliant way to picture it, actually.
Yeah.
Yes, if the noun is the chassis of the car, the adjective is the custom paint job. It answers the question, what kind?
Right, like a fast car or a red car.
Exactly.
But hold on, if we already have a class of words designed to describe things, aren't adverbs completely redundant? Like, why did language evolve a totally separate category just to end words in ly?
Well, because modifying an object is fundamentally different from modifying an action.
Oh, I see.
Like, you can paint a chassis red, but you can't paint speed red.
Huh. That is a really good point.
Right. The adverb exists purely to tune the engine. It tells you exactly how the motor is running. Like, does it run quickly? Does it hum quietly? It's the telemetry of the sentence.
Got it. So now our machine is built. We have a painted chassis and a tuned engine. But, I mean, it can't just float in the void, right?
No, definitely not.
We need roads and bridges to place it in the real world.
Precisely. We need connectors, which is exactly why prepositions evolved. Words like in, on, or under.
Right, showing position or direction.
Yeah, they calculate spatial and temporal reality. They tether that noun to a specific place or time, and then you have conjunctions.
The joiners, right, like and, but because.
Exactly. They act as the trailer hitches, connecting entirely separate vehicles of thought. And finally, you have interjections.
The wild cards. Your wow or oops, just like raw human emotion thrown into the machinery.
Right, sudden emotion. And to see this entire physics engine running, the source uses a practice sentence. The smart boy runs quickly in the park.
Okay, the smart boy runs quickly in the park.
Yeah, and it perfectly illustrates the mechanics of these words working together.
Yeah.
But instead of just diagramming it like a textbook, look at what happens if we strip away the infrastructure.
Like taking away the preposition, the adverb, the adjective.
Exactly. You're left with caveman speak. Boy, run park.
Wow, the resolution just completely drops. You lose all the detail and the 3D reality of the scene.
Exactly. Those 8 categories aren't just arbitrary grammar rules. They are the literal mechanics that allow abstract thought to become a shared reality.
That is wild. And, to help you lock this whole ecosystem into your brain, the source actually offers a super easy memory code.
Oh, right. NPVAPCI.
Yeah, NPBAAPCI. Noun, pronoun, verb, adjective, adverb, preposition, conjunction, interjection.
It's a great mental hook for all 8 categories.
Yeah.
But the text does leave us with a vital reminder here.
Right. Understanding the mechanics of an engine doesn't necessarily mean you know how to drive.
Exactly. Grammar improves through actual usage, not just listening.
You have to actually put the words to work. But here's where it gets really interesting, and a thought I want to leave you with today.
Oh, I like where this is going.
If words are just holding temporary jobs in a sentence, can a word switch careers entirely?
Wait, what do you mean?
Think about it. Can a word act as a foundational noun in one situation and then fire up as the verb engine in the next, depending purely on how you structure it? Next time you read a sentence, look closely. You might just catch a word moonlighting in a second job.